Hey there everybody, it's markcrilley. I'm back with another video. Today I've got a new challenge video. I'm calling it the Paper Doll Challenge. Now, everyone is familiar with these sort of simple paper doll crafts that kids do, just with paper and scissors. I thought to myself, I said, Self, we can take this to a higher level and have some fun with it. Now, what I've done is taken a sheet of ordinary office paper, just to give you the context. It really began its life as a simple sheet of paper like this. I took it, I folded it in half, and then I folded it back on both sides. Of course, you can see I trimmed it down to size here a little bit. Happens to be around, well, let's pull out the old, people like to know the size that I'm doing these things at. It's about 13 centimeters from top to bottom. That's about 5 1/4 inches, but you don't have to cut it at exactly the same shape. What we're doing here today is creating a custom-made shape that's not just going to be a character standing there with the arms outstretched. I'm going to be drawing my character, I've decided, Talia, the ghost from my Brody's Ghost graphic novel. I'm going to be drawing her in chibi form. Hang on, I'm going to refocus the camera so that we can get started. So I'm going to just start drawing the basic shape of Talia. I imagine her sort of stepping from right to left, and or right to left. Get your directions right. From left to right. Ugh, I should have started with coffee. Clearly. Anyway, instead of just standing there with her arms, you know, stretched out on either side, I want to put her in an actual pose, and that's why I'm turning her whole body from left, facing to the right, and she's going to have one leg here that is sort of boldly stepping off in this direction. Now, I'm going to do this whole first part in real time. I want to sort of talk about my plan here because a lot of this stuff is deliberate. I'm trying to make the character have different points where it will connect with the other character as she you know, gets replicated one after the other. I want there to be at least 4, maybe 5 different points where the character touches. So, for example, this foot here is not going to come all the way down. It's going to connect to the other foot. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let's see if I can do this right now. I'm going to draw and have like the heel up like so, so that also can connect on the other side. But my plan with this challenge was not to have everybody try to do the exact same thing that I am doing here today. I would love if anyone chooses to take on this challenge, come up with your own pose, do your own thing. I mean, the possibilities are endless, really. That's what appealed to me about this idea. Who says that this you know, so-called child's art form couldn't actually be amazing, you know, if somebody took their time with it in terms of, you know, creating quite a detailed contour, interesting stuff. I mean, I'm not really taking it as far as it could be taken. I'm keeping it relatively simple. But it seems to me the sky's the limit in terms of... I'm going to actually redraw this head here, because I want her to have a neck. I think Talia should have at least one neck, so I'm going to sort of redo. That happens a lot when you're drawing things. You sort of think you know where the head is supposed to be. That's why always a good idea to use erasable pencil, especially for something like this where you're not 100% sure where everything's going to go. Talia has an interesting hairstyle. Those of you who have seen me draw her before, she has these 2 sort of wings almost to her hair that go flying off in either direction. And I thought this gave me the opportunity, or it would anyway, to have just one more connecting point. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with these connecting points, but I guess I don't want this finished piece to be flopping around, you know. And it is, with office paper, you're dealing with something that is not so strong. as like Bristol board, which is what I normally use. So I thought, let's give this character as many different connecting points on both the left and the right as possible, so as to make the finished structure strong, so that when we stand it up, which is what my plan is to do, it'll actually support itself and not just fall over. Famous last words. It just fell over. Oh man. Anyway. So yeah, my plan was to do this whole first sketching part real time, just to sort of explain my thought process. We'll see if it actually gets too boring. I'm always keenly aware of, routinely seeing all these comments. You talk too much, dude. You talk too much. So this may be falling into that territory as I struggle to do this whole first thing real time. I thought I'd give her a peace sign. Oh, I know what I can talk about, and I'm going to get to this later. But, part of what makes this a challenge, or what can make this fun, is you're going to end up with the same character replicated, in my case, 4 times. Boy, if you really want to take on the challenge, you could make it more than 4 times. You could make it 6, 8, 12 times. You're going to be drawing all day, because I'm not going to do this by computer. I'm going to be doing this by hand. I'm going to redraw and color this character again and again, and part of the reason is that it'll give me the freedom to make slight alterations in the way I draw her. Every time she's going to be slightly different. Maybe make the clothes slightly different, make patterns and different things slightly different. Maybe the facial expression can change. Why not? My idea is that this can actually become a fun work of art in a way that there will be variety to the character each time you see. Although the pose, the contour is exactly identical, the clothing, the facial expression, different things will keep changing, which I think could be fun. In fact, let's get yet one more connection with the hair. She does have this rather complicated hairstyle. And by getting that to connect there, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 different points that this character will connect on either side, hopefully making her structurally sound. I sound like an architect. She's got this skull decoration. She's supposed to be a character who passed away, and in a way I made it kind of playful that she's got R.I.P. and angel wings on her shirt, and then she's got this skull here as like a hair clip kind of a thing, and then a little heart over here. But this is also going to change, I think. Each time I'm going to challenge myself to change the hair accessories, or whatever you call them, every time that I redraw this character. Well, I think I've finally gotten to the point where I can color and add the line work. That I'm going to do all in time-lapse. In fact, much of the remainder of the video is going to be time-lapse, but I wanted you to at least hear my thinking during this initial part, the planning that I came up with, because like I said, so other people may do their own thing, but it might be helpful to keep in mind some of these pointers that I gave about, making it connect on either side, thinking about the structure, if indeed you want it to stand up straight at the end of the process. All right, well, I am going to stop gabbing. I'm going to kick it into time-lapse, and we're going to add all the color well, wait a minute. I'm not going to color now. If I color now, it's going to bleed right through. You know what I'm going to do? Have a plan, Curly. Have a plan. I'm going to cut it out first. Then I'm going to add the color. That is the way to go. Sorry, folks. Well, okay, let's go ahead and do that then. I'll grab the scissors. I was getting all ready to go into time-lapse, and then I stopped myself because I'm a goofball. This part, we'll do just a little bit of this time-lapse. Or not time-lapse, real-time. Man, I really should have had more coffee today. But I thought it might be good for people to see, begin to see what it looks like as you cut these shapes away. You can begin to imagine how Each one is, she's going to flip around and face herself in the opposite direction as I continue cutting these bits. I'll do one more here real time, and then finally we'll bring in Old Man Time Lapse. It's like he was waiting in the wings. I was all set to go, and then you kicked me out. He is going to help us finish off this video. I would say that as you design it, keep in mind how complex you make the contour. You're going to have to cut this, right? And even like for me, making these little peace sign fingers, depending on your scissor skills, you may accidentally, by way of your design work, get yourself into trouble in terms of creating a shape that is really, really hard to cut from the paper. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I'm kind of glad I did this part real time, because it does occur to me that that's a useful piece of advice. And the scissors, the cutting part, is related to the design part very directly, and you can save yourself a lot of heartache by keeping that in mind as you design the contour. Let's go ahead and, oh boy, see, I didn't cut all the way through. Come on, Curly. And so here we're going to open it up again to start to give you the idea of how it's going to work. I'm going to finish cutting this in time-lapse, and then I'm also going to pull out markers, and as I started to get into before, do all in time-lapse the coloring, but then maybe I'm going to take a break and come back and talk about how I want to differentiate each one of these characters. Alright, so there's the first one completed, and I'm going to be moving on now to drawing the next character with slight alterations. I did want to point out, though, it is a good idea to have some scrap paper. You probably saw me. As you try to color right up to the lines, you're going to go over the edge and onto whatever surface is below it. So not a bad idea to have some scrap paper down. I'm going to be doing much of the rest of this in time-lapse in terms of penciling out the details, but I thought I might just do a little section here. I'll zoom in because I'm going to be drawing just on the face. So I guess this is where the challenge part comes in, because even if you're an experienced artist, redrawing something in mirror image can be a challenge, and that's why I thought, some people may be tempted to do this whole thing using the computer, in which they can cut and paste and flip things around. And, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But not me. I'm going to be doing this all by hand and trying to, as I said, do little alterations of each character. It almost might become a little bit like a spot the differences kind of a thing, where you are encouraged to see what I changed from one version to the other. I'm not going to mess around too much with the details of the hair for right now. What I wanted to do is show what if she's, she's happy and smiley here, but over here she's angry for some reason. So I'm going to give her the angry chibi eyebrows here and the big glowing white hot balls of fury for her eyeballs, or lack thereof. And of course that means that in place of the heart that is, in her hair, over here I got to do the internationally recognized symbol of chibi anger. So you get the idea. What I'm going to be doing is, anything that works within this same contour is fair game, I believe. And let's make the angry skull decoration to go along with her angry expression. Of course, the mouth also is going to have to be maybe gritted teeth. Why is she still flashing the peace sign? I'm not into peace. I'm being made to do this against my will. Anyway, this is basically what I'm going to be doing for all of these characters. I'll do it all in time-lapse, and then I'll come by and sort of point out all the differences and what my thinking was as I changed the character from one version to the next. Alright, so before I start coloring, I just thought I'd point out the little ideas that I came up with. She became increasingly punk as she went along with like bracelets and this a tattoo, fishnet stockings, all that stuff. Over here, I don't know what I was thinking. She's a spy, a top secret spy with dark glasses on a mission. A little nervous. Maybe it's her first mission. Or they've brought her in for one last job. And then this one is totally random time. She's winking at us. She's got stars in her hair. And, of course, bacon on her skirts. I don't know why, but random pieces of bacon have become part of this channel lately, for good or for ill. I'm going to go ahead and do all of the coloring, and we'll be back with a few final words. Alright, well there's the finished artwork. Let's get rid of the scrap paper so that we can see the contour there. Hang on, I'm going to show what it looks like when I prop it up on the table. I'm going to have to change camera angles to do that. I do quickly want to say thank you, though, to anyone who's got my books, the drawing lesson, the realism challenge, and of course, Dominar el Manga. I'm sorry, that's the Spanish version. Mastering Manga 3. I am always super grateful for anyone who has helped me out by getting those books. Actually, before I do anything else, though, this can't be done if I don't add blushies. Am I right, people? Of course I'm right. Let's add the blushies here on each one of these characters. Even the angry character gets blushies. Blushies of anger. These are the nervous blushies. And these are the, I'm winking at you because I'm wearing a bacon-patterned skirt blushies. And I think that wraps up that part of it. Hang on, I'm going to switch to another angle so we can do the great propping up and unfolding. Alright, well here we go. We've got the paper doll chain ready to be unfolded, set into place. Let's see if the structural planning paid off. And there you have it, standing up one next to the other in all its bacon-festooned glory. Thank you so much for watching this video, and many thanks to those of you who choose to do the Paper Doll Challenge. If you do, don't forget to put it in the title and tag it Paper Doll Challenge so that I can find it and favorite it and point a spotlight on it to whatever degree I'm able to. So thanks again for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back with another one real soon.